in LA and I brought this nigga Chud's hat. That bitch ass nigga Chud ain't getting out anytime soon. So this is my hat now, nigga. I'm in LA taking over.
His children shall seek to please the poor. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in his word and truth sincerity. This going to be a real quick video. You know, I'm having some fun with this, man. But, you know, I'm sure brothers been keeping up with the whole Chud the Builder situation, which the Lord then swiftly, the Lord swiftly took care of that nigga, man. And it's crazy because I had joined his live stream on Kick, one of the live streams he did before he got banned on Kick. And I was going in on him. You know, I was calling him an Edomite. You know, I was letting him know that the elites betrayed him and, you know, how he's going to war. And the spirit was just on me. I was going in and I had his entire chat, you know, all they was doing was responding to my messages. It got to the point where Chud, he had to mute his mic, you know, and he ended up slipping up and acknowledging what I was saying in the chat. He was like, oh, damn, I thought my mic was muted. But I was cutting him so bad that he ended up sweating. You know, he was like, dang, it just got hot in here. He got all quiet. He was staring at the chat. And I started calling him Chud the Edomite. And every time I would say Chud the Edomite, he would read it, but he would say Chud the Builder. Man, it was hilarious. But for some reason, you know, it's an issue I've been having with my phone where the screen record will cut off on its own and it won't save anything. So I didn't get to keep none of that footage. But, you know, like 2 days after that, he had got banned from Kick. And then everything just went downhill from there. And you see this guy right here, man. This dude, he's an Edomite. But the Lord got Esau so divided to where they're, you know, oh, damn, I didn't mean to do that. You know, Esau is divided, man. They should be sticking together, you know, but they can't even truly be themselves. They can't even truly be how they really feel because the average Edomite doesn't like Jake. You know, behind the scenes, they make fun of Jake. You know, they talk shit, but they can't really be themselves. And it's at the point where Esau is just losing. He's being exposed for his true nature, for what he really is. He's a loser. You know, Chud the Builder got exposed for, you know, black women pegging him. And that's the average Edomite. All right, they're into getting pegged, or, you know, they're into animals. You know, they're into, you know, degeneracy. And, you know, this is hilarious right here. It made me think about the scripture. I'm going to grab it. I know it's in Joel. Let me go ahead and grab that real quick. His children shall seek to please the poor. Okay. Hold on. All right, because you got a lot of Edomites that's against Chud the Builder. Even Nick Fuentes is against him, going in on him, saying Chud deserved what he got. And it came out where they told him that his bond is at like 1.2 million, and the reaction on his face was priceless, man. He know he's cooked, and it was a Jake cop that escorted him to the courtroom, man. You can't make this up. Esau is through. We're watching the downfall of Esau Edom, man. Ain't, you know, that whole spirit of, you know, you showing your true colors to Jake and getting away with it, man. Them days is gone, man. Now we know once, civil unrest break out and famine and, all of these things happen, you are going to have, racial division at an all-time high. A lot of these Edomites, they are going to click up and they going to roll on Jake because as a script, we brought it out at camp yesterday, Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Okay? But Esau is truly done, man. These Edomite women, they ain't really fucking with Esau. They all done thought about it, Jake. Even the ones that haven't been with Jake, because I speak with a lot of college Edomite women. And, I run into a lot of them that they ain't really been around like that, But every time I ask them, how do they feel about Jake? Or have they ever thought about being with a Jake? They always say, yeah. You've lost your woman. But let me go ahead and read this, Salakia. This is Job chapter 20. Man, I'm going to have to actually... I'm going to read this. You know what? Let me start at verse 5. I'm starting at verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. So Esau winning, really has been a short time. Okay, because this is America's 250th year this year. In July, it'll be 250 years, which historians say an empire has about 250 years, to reign. And, I was seeing this video earlier where Trump, he spoke about when he was in China and he spoke with President Xi. And he said President Xi told him to his face that America is declining as an empire. And Trump was like, it's true. So this devil, Esau is done, man. They're acknowledging, you have a lot of Edomites that's acknowledging we're in the collapse of the American empire. So, them winning, them triumphing, it's been a short rule. 250 years is not a long time in the grand scheme of immortality, because we're going to live forever. Once Yahweh Shai establishes his kingdom, we're going to be a nation of immortals, man. Okay? So 250 years will be nothing to us, and it's not a long time. Okay? That's why it says, and the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. Esau, he's only been ruling but for a moment, really like a speck of dust in the grand scheme of eternity. Okay, it says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach unto the clouds, because Esau is on the throne right now, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And that goes into Obadiah verse 18. It's going to come a time where Esau is going to be done away with. Okay, after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, all right, we're going to get rid of them, man. It ain't going to be no need for the Edomites anymore. Their purpose will have been completed. It says, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yet he shall be chased away as a vision of the night, because Esau is going to become like a folklore story. If we talk about the Edomites, it's going to be like they never even existed once they're done away with. Okay, it says, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Because Esau, he won't even have, he's not going to have anything, We're going to see this big ass piece of land that's a desert. Babylon the Great will be the biggest desert on the planet, and it will never be inhabited. And every time we see this place, we're going to remember, our worst captivity, and, the Edomites ruled over us there. But it's going to be like, they never existed, man, because nobody's going to be talking about you. Nobody's going to be thinking about you. You're going to become a thing of the past. Now, when we celebrate the High Holy Day where Yahweh Shai saved us out of here, that's another day where you're going to come to mind, but it's always going to be the truth on you. He was a liar. He was a murderer. He was just a wicked, vile man. But the Most High allowed them to rule the earth. It says, His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. So that's what we're seeing with that video I started off with. You know, this guy's going around, he's trying to defend Jake, saying, you know, he's saying Edomites shouldn't say, you know, the ER. They should only say nigga, because he loves saying nigga. A lot of these Edomites, they say nigga more than Jake, man. You know, I'm seeing videos of Edomites fighting. They calling each other bitch ass nigga. They're the new niggas. They are the new niggas, man. All they listen to is trap music. You got Edomites getting dreads now. Like, Esau is done, man. It's so hilarious. You know, and the curses are hitting them hardcore, man. It's over for this nigga. Okay? It says his bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Because Esau has the pay going all the way back to the serpent, man. Because as we know, it wasn't an actual snake. All right? We know it was a, that spirit of an Edomite. You know? Obviously, you didn't have the Edomites around, but just like, you know, Cain was that same spirit of Esau, man. You know, it's a topic for another day. You know, brothers already know it. You know, but you know, Esau, this nigga is at his end. All right, and they can feel it. That's why you have, you know, Chud the Builder. And now we seeing a lot of his variants. We seeing a lot of people take on that look, man, with the mustache and the mullet. You know, we calling them Chud variants. You know? It's hilarious to see, man. Let me grab this. Like I said, this ain't a long video. You know, just having fun with this. All right? Because his name is Trev, the Edomite I played in the beginning of this video, where he got that nigga Chud hat, which he took that shit on a live stream. Chud tried to mace him, you know. But they just show you how divided Esau is. Like, now you got other Chud variants going up to Edomite women, asking them how do they feel about niggers, and they're like, oh, why did you say that? Why did you... Like, Esau, it's over, man. It's over. You're not going back to that, you know, 1900, early 1900s, you know, late 1800s. You know, you're not going back to that, man. All right, to where your woman was fully with you. You could fully do what you wanted to Jake without being penalized. This Chud nigga, man, this nigga it's over for this nigga. And, you know, us brothers were speaking on it. Either way it go, Esau is done. Okay? If they do decide to let him out, that's going to rouse up Jake, which would be a good thing. But if they choose not to, hey, it's just another dagger in, you know, showing you Esau is done. This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. Slacky real quick. Let me turn this on. It's getting hot in here. Slacky. Yeah, it says, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And we're seeing the fall of Esau, Edom before our very eyes. All right, we're seeing this nigga go down in real time. And there's nothing he can do about it. You know, all he can do is get on the internet and harass and antagonize Jake, which that's what Chud was doing. Antagonizing Jake, harassing Jake. And then when Jake reacts, saying they chimping out, and he got a gun and mace on him, you know, so he's like, yeah, you know, I pretty much, he was looking to kill a Jake. But now look at him through. They're saying he's facing up to 15 to 25 years. And, you know, it's mixed reports coming out. I don't really know what all is true. But they're saying that he may not be able to use all the money he's raised to for bail, because his bail is like at 1.2 million, which he would have to pay at least like 5 or 10% of that. Okay, so that would, reports I was seeing was saying that would be like 120,000. That's down near all the money he didn't raise. Then he will have to pay lawyer fees, and even if he do get out, he can't go back to making that content, because that's just gonna make him look even worse in court. Like, he went right back to doing it. But that nigga Trev also did another video. It was titled when Chud Gets Out, something like that. And you had a Jake in whiteface, and Trev was in blackface, and Trev was, following the Jake in the whiteface. The Jake in the whiteface was he was supposed to be Chud. He had the hat on and everything. And, just making a mockery of this nigga, man. It's funny, man. But I'm seeing a lot of Edomites that's cheering for this nigga downfall. But you still got other Edomites that's riding for him, but they're just losers, man. Esau is done. All right, we're seeing the fall of Esau Edom in real time, man. Okay, he's done in all fashions. Okay, militarily, they've been defeated. Iran and whooped their ass, of course, with the aid of Russia and China, which, it came out like a day or two ago that China, which we already knew this, but the evidence came out of them showing U.S., base locations and pretty much U.S. locations. They were sharing satellite imagery with Iran. So, of course, they're directly involved. Xi Jinping told Trump to his face that Taiwan is going to be theirs, and that he don't plan on losing the oil, because they're the biggest purchaser of oil from Iran. So pretty much they telling Esau to his face, like, look, man, we don't fear you, nigga. Even though they're all about to push this new, this digital system, there's still, division. Okay? The Edomite man has lost his respect worldwide, man. Now, of course, these damn goop bitches, really, that's all Esau got. These goop bitches that worship him, and a few Edomite women here and there, but for the most part, your woman want Jake. So it's over for you, nigga. All right? It's over. But, Lord willing, this was an edifying video. With that, I'm going to say shalom.